Welcome to the Phlarpin Podcast. Phlarp stands for Park Hills Live Action Role Players. We are a medieval fantasy-themed LARP group that engages in unscripted combat against each other using padded LARP weapons and a shared combat system. We operate out of Park Hills, Missouri every Sunday from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m. It is our hope here at the Phlarpin Podcast that through the utilization of this platform, we can expand on the ideas and suggestions taken from our players in order to maximize player retention and to expand our player base. The Phlarpin Podcast is made possible by support from our players and listeners like you. If you would like to support us, please visit our Patreon where you can do so for as little as $3 a month. Also, any engagement on our YouTube or Facebook pages is much appreciated, and thank you for listening.
Welcome to the Phlarpin Podcast. My name is Jason Smith, or North.
And I'm Brandon Frazier, or Daveen Allman.
And I am Chris, or Erik the Red.
And I am Jessica, or Mercer Stitch.
Did you know your name?
I didn't know which one I wanted
You sound
to
like
say
you're going to say,
first.
yeah, Mercer first. You went, Jessica.
Mom.
I don't know, I didn't. I got lost
Mom,
for a second.
What's my name?
I feel like Chris is really loud in my headphones.
Yeah.
That's because I'm, like, close to the mic, homie.
Bro, I'm eating the mic.
Pretty much.
I know.
Rocking that mic, huh?
I do what I can.
All right.
Cool.
So where do we begin?
Okay.
Anyway, so it's Sunday, August.
It's the 20th.
It's the 20th. It is 5:27 p.m.
And today it was like 1,000 degrees.
It
Walk
might have
on
been
the sun, bro.
2,000 degrees, actually.
Yeah, it was really hot.
We were walking on the sun. We were walking on sunshine.
We should have had that song played.
Yep. That would have been great.
I wonder if our DJ would have accepted the request.
Maybe not.
He played anything I asked him to today.
They even
He
played
said-
Bird is the Word.
Yep.
He did.
It's awesome.
Which might
He
have been the
lit-
best song of the day.
He literally would like hold his phone up and just have you talk into his phone, and then he'd say, "Is that the right one?" And you just push it, and he'd play it.
So he wasn't necessarily vetting them or anything like that, right?
No, he just play whatever you ask.
We
him to.
should have tried to just get him to play some Bardcore. I explained to him what it was. So, for the listeners, we had a guy come up today that was just kind of like hanging out, and he had like a cool roadster car or whatever, and he went over and I talked to him for a minute, and he thought it'd be cool to like DJ some music for us, so we let him do it, and it was pretty cool. He was a nice guy. Seemed like a nice guy. He had a real cool roadster. I actually saw him last night at the gas station down here with all the lights on. I thought it was the cops. And then we pulled over there and got closer, and we were like, oh, no, this is just some kind of like wild roadster type car.
Sure. You're like, update, not the cops.
Yeah.
But you didn't talk to him yesterday, though?
Mm-mm. No.
And then you just got lucky he was at the park where we play
Mm-hmm.
today.
Yeah,
We
he just happened to
play?
be there. I told him.
Well, this is Brandon.
We,
I mean, the
we
heroes
don't play,
engage
we
in-
battle. Okay?
Engage in Mortal Kombat, but you
Hun-
know.
100%.
That's going to get annoying.
Yes, it is. For you.
That's how much I. This is how much I agree with you.
100%.
Okay.
In absolutes.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
I mean, how do you partially agree with something? Okay, never mind.
it's not, listen,
here we go again.
my argument is not that I'm partially agreeing. It's
Right.
that if you deal in an absolute, if you say 100% of something, you're not leaving any chance in the universe at all for something to be wrong.
But if that person isn't 100% and you agree with them 100%, you're only agreeing with them to the percent they're agreeing to.
I don't think that's how that works.
I'm not
because
agreeing
you're
more
still,
than
I'm
you.
agreeing. I'm saying that I don't think anyone should
Here we
ever
go
agree
again.
100% on anything.
This is 2 weeks.
I'm just saying.
2 weeks of doing this.
To me, I'm a 99.9% kind of guy. It is what it is.
So if I was like, oh, you know, I think you should just, try to hold your breath for 5 minutes under the water,
Okay.
and I don't think you can do it.
Okay.
Are you gonna agree with me 100%?
No,
or
I'm going to
partially?
say there's a 99.9% chance that I can't do that. That I'm,
But that's asking you what you think the percentage is. If I say I think you can do it, you can't agree part of that. You can't agree some of that. You can't say like, oh, if I say I think you can do it, I'm already admitting that I'm not saying 100%.
I think our listeners should vote in the comments.
Do you
if
see what I'm
agree
saying?
with Daveen or North. So we
I
can
hear
settle
what you're
this.
saying. I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying.
Because some agreements and not are like sort of binary. They're either you disagree or you agree. You don't partially agree.
So now you're talking about absolutes again
Wait
because
a
you're
minute.
getting into binary numbers.
I thought binaries were zeros and ones, not yeses and nos.
It's the same
it's
thing.
the same, yeah. Just,
Hypothetical.
It's just a different context, but
Anyway.
All right. Vote in the comments if you think Eric the Red
Vote-
is just a silly head.
yeah. How much you agree with me?
I
in the
agree
comments.
100%.
that I am a silly head.
You're and
you
this
already
is your
lost
fault.
privilege of
This
your
is your
button.
fault because you made this button.
Yeah, now what?
This conversation
That's
wouldn't
what
have
that
happened.
was.
See?
That's what that was. Now you gave me all
So
the
anyway,
power.
I gave you nothing.
You gave me all the
I gave you
power.
the illusion of power.
Mwahaha.
So anyway,
What's the dude's name
So
from
Rick-
Hotel Transylvania?
I have no idea.
Dracula or who? Hotel Transylvania?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, the Dracula looking dude. What was his? Was it Dracula?
Dracula. I
Okay.
think.
Well, you know, blah, blah,
You know,
blah.
Never watched it. I don't know.
The Adam Sandler.
Dude, Adam Sandler
Vehicle.
rocks, so. Ode to My Car is his best hit ever. And that is 100%.
I 95% agree with you.
This is awesome.
You're 5% wrong.
It is a good song.
Yes, thank you.
Anyway, so it was like 1,000,000 degrees out today. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't usually get like all sweaty and crazy. I mean, I might a little bit, but today I was sweating the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy hot out today.
Yeah.
And that was even. We did take steps to do what we can for the heat. We brought out, 10 gallons of Gatorade, basically.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And that was helpful. And that only got drank, maybe
One of them kind of almost got drank.
33% of it
Mhm.
altogether, maybe?
Mhm.
You and your percentages.
I think it was about a third. Mine was about half, and his was probably
No,
a
there
quarter.
was less than a gallon left in yours. Because we emptied it when we got here. So you can correct people, but I can't.
I mean, you may need a visual on this, but he was making a face while he was making that noise.
That's fine
I mean-
because that camera's gonna die eventually, and then me and you, we're gonna
And then we'll
settle
pause.
this.
We'll
Hey,
pause
listen, did we
this,
duel today?
And then we'll.
Yeah,
Did we duel? Who won?
me.
Lie. Keep
Maybe.
going. Keep going. Because I vaguely remember walking out there with one sword to your two and making you look silly.
Listen,
Wow.
I was just trying to give you a win for today. Okay.
He already started with this one for a win.
I didn't actually. I had never died today during the team battle at all. I never used a life in either game.
He did not.
I didn't in the first one, but I did in the second one.
That is 100% true because I watched it.
Oh my gosh.
So go ahead and hit that button. Go ahead.
Anyway, we had Gatorade,
No.
and we had popsicles
In
and
which game?
waters.
The last, the
La-
big team death match, I
okay.
never died.
All right.
I was trying to get us back on track, but everybody just kept talking. It's fine.
Well, the thing is that the truth of the matter is that it's time for a segment. It's time for
Daveen's Corner.
Woo! All right, I got some jokes for you guys today. You ready?
Woo!
It was my Ric Flair woo. We're not ready.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to start
we're
anyway.
ready.
All right, I think we're ready.
Oh gosh.
I'm starting to get muscle cramps.
So,
now.
before the summertime,
Uh-huh.
obviously it was like wintertime or whatever. I took a trip down to Colorado to go to a ski trip.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It started off fine, but it went downhill fast.
Did it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that you told us this before.
Did I?
Yes.
Not
On
on the
the
podcast.
podcast?
No, I don't
yes.
think so.
It was on the podcast.
All right. Well,
Hold on,
nonetheless,
hold
then
on.
You know what?
Hang on, are you done?
Okay, go ahead.
Are you done?
Yeah.
That was a funny.
There's about to be a fight on the podcast. All right.
The joke's so funny. You joke's so nice. You told it twice, huh?
What did the T-Rex say to the Velociraptor?
I don't know.
Nothing. They're extinct.
Okay. That one was pretty funny.
Thanks.
That was
Appreciate that. I got one more for today.
okay.
Why shouldn't you trust jungle animals?
Why?
Because they're always lying.
Boo. You suck, bro. You're starting to tell North jokes.
Daveen's corner is better when you have inappropriate jokes, I think.
Yes.
I was told to stop telling those.
You know what?
By who?
The
Who told you
algorithm.
that?
Let's ask our viewers right now.
Yeah.
Comment below
Yeah.
so that somebody has homework to do this week, and even though he won't do it,
And let me know in the comments if you'd rather hear dirtier jokes. And if you do, then I'll just start to look up dirtier jokes.
that's right.
Fair enough.
I think we all enjoy it.
Yikes. Anyway, that was
Daveen's Corner.
Okay.
All right. So,
You want to do mine next?
nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
North's responses.
Here we go. See,
right.
see, he does it on air, and like we have to fill the time.
I've looked at them. They're right here. It's time for North's
North's
Responses.
Responses.
This is a terrible name.
That
Then
is.
make your own name.
I will. I'm gonna
He was
change
the one
it.
that made it too.
No, I did.
Okay, well, still, it sucked.
Okay, so the first comment was by our esteemed co-host here that says, everybody needs to go to Daveen and challenge him to a duel just to see if he will really duel them. Did they do that, Daveen?
They did, and I dueled them.
Did you win?
Yeah.
I'd like to say a little bit about the duel between me and you, actually.
Would you?
You totally faked me out whenever we fought because, like, sometimes when you fight somebody, it's like, I don't know, it's like a pro tip, I guess, but you can, like, watch their eyes, and
Sure.
they'll watch where they're going to swing. And he was doing that at my hands, like, hard. And I guess he was, like, faking me out because I thought that's what you were doing. I was going to go for your hand, and then you went for the kill.
Yeah.
And it did. It just come in and nicked me. So I think it was, like, the stomach.
It
But
was
either
more
way,
of a
it
nick.
killed me.
It was a clean hit. Don't let him lie.
It was a I mean, it was.
It
A
was.
nick is still a hit, but, you know.
You made it sound like I barely nicked you.
No, it was a full-on hit. I witnessed it.
Yeah.
No,
so-
you didn't.
And
No.
I
also,
did
let me
not.
just say this: when you're fighting someone, I feel like everything's a chess match
Mhm.
when you're fighting someone. So I do that stuff on purpose. I know they're looking at my
Right.
eyes. I know they're looking at where I'm looking at. Sometimes, I probably shouldn't say this on the podcast, but I'm going to anyway. Most of the time, if I'm like fighting a decent fighter that has a shield, I'll stare at legs. Like I'm gonna swipe
To
at
get
your
'em to get
leg,
lax.
and then if I'll like feign down, basically to get them to drop their shield,
Mhm.
and then I'll just hit them in the back.
Hmm.
That's usually what I do.
You guys heard it. That's
Now
his
I'll have
pro
to.
tip.
Now I'm gonna feign high and go low.
That's his pro tip. You guys heard it, so watch his eyes.
And something I had heard too from a shield user, I'm not going to say who it is, but they were talking about how there's openings either high or low, basically. And then if you can get them to open up by feigning one direction, kind of like what you're saying, then just go for the other direction, knowing that you're going to swing high or whatever. Like start to swing low and make it look like you're really going to commit to that swing low, and then you just fake it and go high.
Mm-hmm.
And that works a lot, apparently. So.
I agree.
Especially a shield user, because they only have a few spots you can really get in.
Yeah.
And so.
The other thing about shield users that I think most people should understand, especially dual wielders, is that I wouldn't worry about the shield. I know it's annoying, but that shield can't hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You should focus whatever their sword arm is or whatever weapon they have in their hand. That is the arm you should focus. And in reality, you have the advantage because you have two weapons to their one.
If
So
you're
that's how I would
dual-wielding
look
too.
at it.
Yeah.
But
I
I've
agree.
always, as a shield
And
user,
also-
I've always struggled with dual wielders more than anyone else.
And another thing I do, which I guess this might be a little shifty, I guess, but I mean, it's part of the game, is if I get that arm, I go for the kill.
You
do
should.
not let them like
should.
recover at all. Like don't let them run away, nothing.
That's
You
what
know,
honor switch
after.
is for.
Mm-hmm. True. Okay, and then the next one says, it's you agreeing with yourself, which is awesome.
Yes.
I agree with Erik, the red guy. He totally does have some amazing ideas. So
Wow.
there you go. You got a compliment from yourself. Do you
Yes.
feel good about that?
That's one.
How often do you high five yourself a day?
Every day.
Okay.
I mean,
Confidence.
that actually kind of makes sense, you know?
Like when I start working, I literally have to amp myself up, and I have a bunch of mentors from my old team, and I still stay in contact with them, so that as a supportive person,
So at some point
So-
in the day, are you
Support
just
group.
like, hey, tell me how good I am?
I
Like, is
do.
that-
I'm all like, guys, today's an awesome day. Let's rock out, and high five to me, and then hit send.
wow.
And I have like at least 7 or 8 people that I do that to, and of course I get the high five back. So, yeah, that's
Cool.
my
Cool.
positivity for the day, and
Fair enough.
If it works for you, man, keep it up.
Okay, and the next one. Excuse my snorting. It says I would also like to add some homework for North. What What all would you expect from that totally awesome and amazing ambassador Erik the Red to do as far as getting things ready for opening a Phlarp property? I think that's something we need to look forward to. I can say that there's 27 weeks until we have our grand opening at the property. So I'm going to make like a sort of an itinerary on what I want to try to get a project done each week, what project I'd like to get done to be able to be ready for opening. I don't know that necessarily they would be lining up to be able to be like as strictly you, I guess, doing, but any of that stuff you wanted to help me with would be great. And also, don't we have a new parade coming up that we're looking
yes,
at?
we have the Deloge Parade, which is Monday the 4th of September.
And
So
is that on a holiday? Is it actually on the
yeah,
holiday?
it's Labor Day.
So I think I'll be able to go to that if it's on the holiday.
But the question I was actually asking on that is like, as far as like, what I normally do is, contact the people for the parade, and, asking them what I need to do. What I was more asking as far as the opening, like, do I need to contact
To
some
promote
businesses
the
and
opening.
things like that to promote the opening? We have one of our players you had talked about that is in a band. Do I need to talk to them and say, hey, we have our grand opening, would you like to part-time, in between, actually participating and, maybe having the band out there, maybe having, some people to help Mercer as far as food, things like that.
Networking and promoting
Yeah.
for the actual grade.
So-
Yeah, I mean, any of that stuff you wanted to do would be great. I don't have any, like, necessarily plans right off the bat, but that's something we definitely need to get going on. Now, it'd be better to get that stuff early, like organized early and figured out what we're going to do. That way, when it comes time, we can be doing it.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to find some people that I can collaborate with and be like, okay, this is what we have, this is the day, what do I need? That way I can start writing it down, and as soon as I get done with work, now that I have ample time, I can start making phone calls or whatever. And it's like, I know that you have a lot going on between your orders and trying to help us, as marshals and eating, things like that. So it's like I'm trying to get as much done beforehand so that it's not a huge cluster like we had last time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try to get some stuff together, something that's more concrete as far as like what we need to make sure we do. I will say that something that you can do, but I don't know if we're too far out of the city of Park Hills to do this, is if you sign up for their Chamber of Commerce, they come and they like do like a ribbon cutting and stuff like that. But so maybe you could get a hold of them and see how far out they go.
Okay.
Like whether that is too far out, because it might be
I'll-
too far on the edge.
I'll
Didn't
ask
you say
them.
it's city water though?
Yeah, but it's a different city. It's like the water department is in Franklin, so I don't know if that means anything or
Wow.
it's weird. The
Yeah.
taxes for the taxes for the property are like paid in leadwood, but the address is Park Hills. It's crazy. So
Okay.
we just have to get a hold of them and find out. But that would be something and they put your picture in the paper when they do that.
Okay.
So that'd be another way to potentially look
I
at.
mean, Park Hills is in the name of Phlarp.
Yeah.
So.
True. And if anybody else has any ideas or anything too, like let me know, like in the comments
Definitely.
or suggestion box or whatever. Anything that they think we need to have ready, or at least start promoting through, like any kind of networking we need to do or whatever. So
Yeah.
maybe going around some of the card shops too. That might be a good idea, and make sure they know we're doing like an actual grand opening at the property.
I mean, not only is it, I'm trying to do it,
Aesop's
but it's
favorite.
like, what do our viewers want? What do our heroes want? Let us know in the comments so that we can try and facilitate that and make sure that it's there for the grand opening, So I think that would be something that I really want to start getting the ball rolling on.
Even if it's something as simple as I want to make sure, if all I need, if like somebody's like, well, I just need to make sure I have a place to park or the road's decent enough, which obviously, I mean, it's got to be like decent, but
Yeah.
Even something simpler like that we can aim for would be
Okay.
cool.
Because Connor, which is my daughter's husband, he is actually a code enforcement officer with Park Hills.
Yeah.
So he deals with, the Chamber of Commerce and everything. So I'm going to try and get my foot in right there.
Okay.
So that may be able to help us a little bit.
Cool. And then this one comes from Trinity. So it says, just to give North some homework, will there ever be another class that can use exotic linked weapons?
I mean, other than Barbarian? Because there's a
Right.
Barbarian.
I think Barbarian is the only one that's going to give you some kind of boost that will allow, like, somebody asked me today if there was a way to use an exotic and a shield, which I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah.
Like defensive warrior gets that eventually, but they have to buy an ability for it. It's like Spartan something.
Spartan's Grasp.
Yeah, I think so.
There's technically there's a wizard ability that allows you to do it too,
That's true.
but at least the first one, I think it's Marv's Mitts.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's
I
a
think so.
one-time use.
Right.
So,
So as soon as you draw blood with it, it's over.
mhm,
You have to draw blood, so if they block it, you know,
Right.
don't count, but or doesn't take it away. But there is a higher level one too of those that you can. I don't think it buffs you. Like there might be a high level one that I haven't put in yet that I'm thinking about considering as one that doesn't go away until you actually get a kill. Just make a high enough level for it to be worth it. But there is one that exists in the game that's higher level that you can cast infinitely as long as you don't move your feet. So if you put your wizard somewhere where you can protect him, and you could like send people back there to just keep getting the buff over and over. Every time they lose it, they can go back and another one. Kind of like the heal one that they can just keep doing.
it's similar to the to some of the summon abilities too that you can do infinitely.
But yeah, the barbarian thing we were talking about is, so the race or lineage of barbarian is going to allow you to, it's not in the game yet, but when it does go into the game, it'll allow you to carry one longer length weapon than you're normally allowed on at least one of your weapons. So you couldn't upgrade like both, like if you had ambidextrous, you couldn't upgrade them to a two-hand and a
It would be
two-hand and a
2
one-hand.
50-inch weapons.
Yeah, right, you're right. But you can upgrade one of them. So you'd be able to do, like, if you could do two-handed and a shield, you'd be able to have exotic. If anything that you'd have two-hand with and you were a barbarian, you could turn that into an exotic. Or,
Okay.
you know, use
All right.
exotic instead. So, and then we have Valnir just agreeing about the XP curve, about it being fine. I guess about us leveling a little slower or whatever. Also, there's a comment here that he has that just says, people are still not taking hits clearly if we're already having problems with people putting it in the suggestion box. And we're already having problems even with people putting it in the suggestion box, so it didn't really solve anything in my opinion, which I kind of understand, but then I also don't, because you know, he may not be privy to all the warnings that I'm assuming he's not privy to all the warnings that I do send out. And I think them people that it is affecting their, like, whether, like, I think those people, most of the people that I've sent warnings to are trying to do better. It seems like that they're being receptive to it.
Yeah.
Also, Jessica Butler cleaned up the rest of that deer that was on the side of the highway. So, thank you, Valkyrie. Apparently, I don't know.
I
how
don't
she
even know
did
what
that.
you're talking about, but it sounds gross.
Because it has to do with the trash. Yeah, the trash bash. I was saying there's a bloated deer on the side of the road.
Yeah, we were talking about it last week about
Right.
how I was going to say, call the highway patrol.
I think it's MoDOT.
Yeah.
And then I have a comment from Valnir saying he's completely okay about me holding the event or whatever, and he said thank you basically for waiting to the end of the day when he showed up and then still doing an event so he could get golden gods. So you're welcome. And then there's just a comment from Rollford, aka Rollover, that just says, "Yo, it's your boy Rollford, aka Rollover, LOL." So thanks for checking out our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
That's
thank
a
you.
new
Hell
viewer
yeah.
I think we got there. So.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks for the shout out. And then that's it. And then we just, also, I'll just start shouting this out. Valkyrie was first on the comments. So I'm just going to start saying who actually won first.
Oh, man.
That's what it looks like anyway. Did you say you had first?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
wasn't nothing on there
she
whenever
was
I watched it.
100% sure that she was
I never said her percentage.
that she was the very first person that watched the video.
Oh, I clicked another thing and then more comments came up. No, but not that one. I still don't even see your first.
That's okay.
Apparently she wasn't first.
There's
Yikes.
some comment where some guy's trolling us. That's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it. That's been North
North
Responses.
Responses.
Woo! If you want me to answer more of those and be like have a little bit better content, make it a question. That helps, because then it's something we're trying to answer. So
True that.
that's it.
Did we ever get a picture of
I'll
the?
try to
Yes, we
refine
did.
it, pick a better
Nice.
name and stuff.
Do you want to
but-
do the recap?
No, I'm good.
Nom, I'm
Nom,
good.
I'm good. Blah, blah, blah.
That's what I heard. Nom, I'm good.
Okay, so on the recap for today,
Awesome.
we had approximately 30 people. The announcements were we had 27 weekends away from grand opening. Sorry, my contacts are all jacked up. All right. Yeah, I can't read half of this.
Where are you reading this?
She sent it in the Marshall
That's
chat.
where I'm at, but I don't see. Oh, I see.
Oh.
Let's see. August birthday cakes will be next weekend. It was just too hot for that this week. It's something that I usually do on the third weekend of the month, but that'll be next weekend instead.
Okay.
Then we had a last man standing.
What happened? What happened?
Well, nobody got riled up when we were trying to get them all excited.
You need to get the plants in the.
It's
I
because
tried
I
to
wasn't
help.
there.
I don't know, man.
You need we need to take like copper around and just pay like 3 people to be like, hey, whenever we go to rile everybody up, really just get excited.
By
Yeah.
we, you mean you.
Yes.
Yes.
So in third place, we had Heston. Second place was Pius, and first place was Valnir.
There you go.
Valnir.
Congratulations to Valnir, Pius, and Heston.
Yeah, it's hard to read, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
I can read the next
Okay.
one.
Oh, patrol. That's
And
what
then-
that says.
Yep. And then we had patrol. Is it okay? I don't know.
Yeah,
Did I
go
steal
ahead.
it? Okay.
No, because I can't read that.
And then also we had a patrol for.
Little one
Ag-
and
I think it was a
He said it.
Ajima.
Agama.
Agama.
Agama. Yeah,
That
right,
is
right,
it.
right.
You're right. You're right.
It was little one and
Agama
Agama.
and little one. Yep.
And it was
new
Agama
heroes.
the Unknown, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That was. I mean, it went okay. I feel like it needed to be quicker today, just because of the heat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which we did do. I feel like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And even one of those people was even hitting an inhaler, so I was like, oh, if you need to sit out for a minute or whatever because it's hot, like feel free to do that. But he didn't, so
Cool.
I guess he was good.
Yep.
And I thought it went really well. So they were actually there at the beginning of last week, and we just
Well,
didn't get a chance to
it
do
wasn't
a
the
patrol.
beginning.
It
Or
was
like at
after.
the end, right? So we just went ahead and did their patrol this week. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it seemed like they had a lot of fun and stuff. So
And just an FYI for everybody, I killed Daveen.
He did, although he did it during patrol, and he stabbed me in the back, and there was a new hero right in front of me, so I just ignored his hit and let the new hero kill me.
And I'm
Nice.
cool with that.
And I
I'm
went
cool
up
with
and
that.
told him afterwards, like, I know I ignored your hit, but this is why.
Yeah, I was totally cool with it. I mean, this is the first time that I actually got to get beat. It was you and Trinity, and everybody was circling, and so I was like, "Oh, here's my chance." I just went up. I was like, "Pop, pop!"
No, he got me.
But
he
then somebody
and
got me,
Trinity
so I'm
clean.
like,
I almost felt bad because like I saw him, I went to go talk to him. He was like leaned up against a tree, like gasping for air. Poor
I
guy.
was RPing my death.
Oh.
For
okay.
me, it's hard to like fall down and then get back up, so I was just like dying against the tree.
Mm.
But I mean, once you came to me and told me, "Hey, this is what happened," I was like, "Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm just here to have fun."
Yeah,
That's
that's what we're all there for. At
That's
least
what it
what's-
was.
what we should all be there for.
Yeah. I
I'm
had
there
fun.
to win.
I'm there to win it all.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
For fame and glory or whatever.
After that, we had a battle of
Nope.
Minion.
After that, we had. Oh yeah. Yep.
Wow.
I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were talking about the clan battle. That's all right. I just did to you what I was talking about you do to me before we started the podcast. It's fine. Go ahead.
Thanks,
ahead.
North Jr.
Yep.
Ooh.
So we had a battle of Minion, and Eridan and Pora won that. So congratulations to him.
Congrats.
Then we had 2 game battles of Pandemic Panic. The first one, the zombies won. It was a slaughter.
True.
Heston, Iverson, Pius.
That's it.
We're
Yeah.
the starting zombies, I
Right.
think. Or
Okay,
something.
yeah.
And then the last
Oh
remaining
yeah, Heston,
human
Iverson, and Pius.
was
right?
Wilhelm.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And he almost tricked him for a minute, and
Yeah.
then they started walking off the field and stuff, and we're like, "Hey, there's another human alive," and then they immediately found him right after that.
Yeah,
Because he didn't have any arms, and he was kind of just wandering around the edge with no
he
arms.
did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
And then the zombies were just in the middle, celebrating.
we were. And the second game, the heroes, I guess, won. It
Mhm.
was Heston, Raven, and
That's probably Torvald.
Torvald,
It is.
and Eridan.
There you go.
So congratulations to those guys. After that, we had a team battle where you had your starting life and then you got one life afterwards. So the first game, Valnir, North, Little One, Agama, Daveen, Mercer, Aragon. Is that Uden?
That's Aridin.
Oh, Aridin. Round 2, no Aridin.
Rand was Valnir, excuse me, was the leader of that team.
Yeah. And then the second one was Rose, Little One, Torvald, Agama, Roford? Is
Yeah.
that Roford?
Roford.
Aridin,
No Aridin.
Heston. Oh, no Aridin. Okay.
This is all messed up. I don't
Yeah.
even know what's going on with this.
I don't either.
This is both teams combined, and then marshals and all kinds of stuff going on here. I don't know what's going on, but basically the first team he named won twice.
Yeah.
The second time we
Right.
didn't have Aridin, still won.
So,
Move on.
There you go.
oh, I know what this is.
Nonetheless,
Nonetheless,
that's what happened.
that's what happened. Okay, so this next list is we were talking about having the beat the heat or
Yep.
whatever, and that's what this is. So the ones who stayed past,
There's your list.
our last battle, we stayed till 4, and that's when we kind of called it. And we said that if you stayed, we were going to give you a few points of XP. So it was Rose, Little One,
I understand.
Torvald, Agama, Roford, Aridin, Heston, Daveen, Joseph, Mercer, Valnir, Pius, Raven, Erik, Yfutin,
I believe that's Frecky.
Frecky, Aragon, North, and Valkyrie.
Who's Frankie?
And to be clear, those
That's
are the ones
Maddie.
those are the ones that
Oh, okay.
stayed to the end of the day on a
Mhm.
on a day that is like 1,000 degrees.
And don't feel bad. I learned that today on accident. So
Well, I just learned it.
Yeah, me too.
somebody, I
Just
guess it
now.
was Valnir, walked up at some point and was like, "Who is Frecky Greystone?"
Because it has,
Like,
she has the same name as
Yeah,
him.
and he was like very confused, and I was like, "That's your lady." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, oops, my bad. So
And then there was some extra role play experience given to both Pius and Roford for just exhibiting like above and beyond role play today, whatever it is that they did. So
Yeah.
congratulations to those guys as well.
and apparently we have a picture of somebody slayed Valnir.
That's the ogre, I think.
That's the ogre.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the ogre.
Yeah. You can't tell?
No,
Oh.
I mean they both look ugly. So
Ooh, ouch.
hope you got some aloe.
For that burn?
Yeah, that's right. And then we have a picture of our heroes slaying and then looting our ogre. So there you go. I don't know if you guys can see it, but hopefully you
Probably
can.
What is
not.
this? What is this other page?
That
Is
was
it-
the
That was
beginning.
the beginning.
That's why I was
Okay.
confused.
Jeez.
I was like, what are you reading? Because I was like reading the full page.
yeah, guys, I'm.
And we
I
had
got
30
this.
people. Did we mention that already?
Yeah. That was
guys
the first
mention
thing
it?
we
That was the
mentioned.
first thing I said.
That's pretty good for the heat.
Yeah.
And just so people know, we called it like a little bit early just because it was so hot. And that's that's that last list of people that made it to when we called it. So
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that went home early.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
it was really hot today, like sweltering.
I'm getting cold now too.
jeez.
Well, my
Are
shirt.
you like presenting your vampiric
No, my
coldness?
shirt's all wet from
Yep.
Sweating so much,
Sure
and
am.
then now being in the AC, it's making me cold.
See that? So
But
every
anyway,
Sunday I bring a clean shirt to throw on after LARP. I mean,
Well,
it's
I
still
normally
sweaty and
don't get that
nasty, but
sweaty.
it's less sweaty and nasty.
no.
Oh. All right. So, what do we got next?
It's Eric's ensemble. No. Okay.
Are you ready for this? Are you
It's-
ready for
it's-
this?
No.
Okay.
Now I'm ready. Let's do this.
So that was the recap.
That was the recap.
You are ready?
Yes.
All right. Well, it's time for
Eric's Ensemble.
So.
So what do you got?
Woo!
Whoa! Wow, that was
Woo! All right. So for
That's
my
not as fun as you
ensemble.
think.
yeah.
So for my ensemble, I had Ric Flair there. So thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, we had an amazing weekend, and I I know that it was super, super, super hot, and everybody was dehydrated. Like right now, I'm
How do you
still
know
get-
that? What percentage would you say you know that?
Okay,
Oh my
so
gosh.
I'm not a Sith, so I'm not dealing in absolutes. But I would say I know a lot of people were getting really hot and
So
dehydrated.
99.9%.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
100%.
And then, but other than that, we had a great weekend, guys. I know we did. Having 30 people when it's 118 with the heat index, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I give it to our heroes for being out there and showing up and battling as hard as they did. So that is my ensemble, is everybody that came out and totally slayed the day. They rocked out to some, jailhouse rock. It was
that wasn't about the only song.
Yeah, that was about
decent that was played.
we were getting down with some Chuck Berry and everything, man. So I had Chuck Berry on my ensemble.
Fair enough. So what you're saying is that was
Eric's
Eric's ensemble. Okay, right on. So we ready to get down to this suggestion box
Yeah,
stuff?
I guess so. I'm ready.
You're up.
You're
you
up.
We start with you.
This one says the best solution to winning XP is only make a few events give it. I don't know that I necessarily disagree with this. Meaning I would be fine with making some events give it, but it's gonna have to be a situation where we have if we did say a duel situation, or if we did a last man standing, it would have a cap. So if we did say we made them stay in a smaller area, we made it a cap, and then we literally would have to have 4 cameras on every corner is the only way I can think of to do this. And if we think we saw something that happened, that somebody didn't take a hit or whatever, we pause it, like in a football game or whatever. And if we find out you didn't take your hit, you're out of the game, for that game. That would be the only way to do this. It would require a ton of
Eyes on
marshals
the
and stuff. Yeah, people really watching it and stuff. And they'd have to be absolutely brutal about it, meaning if you get caught, and you're sloughing hits or whatever, you're out of that game. For the rest of the game, you're just completely out.
It's going to create conflict.
ejected.
Yeah, it would
It's
be
a
kind
terrible
of
idea.
It would be a intense situation, and only for only those who want it or whatever. And even then, I don't know that I would give bonus XP. I would give bonus something maybe, but not XP. I don't think I'm not necessarily 100% opposed to giving XP again, but I'm 99.9%
Yeah, he
opposed
is.
to it. So
Okay.
because I'm not a Sith. So
Right.
Lies. You sit on a throne of lies, bro. You guys can see this, right? See that throne? Nothing but lies. Right
Is that
there.
even on still?
yeah, it is.
I could see the
blink,
red light.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're good.
How'd you not see that, bro?
Yeah, bro. You got glasses on.
See it?
Oh, because
Yeah,
I was
lit
looking
up.
down there. I didn't realize it was extended all the way up. I'm like, I don't see nothing over
Wow.
there.
Anyway,
So it's not necessarily impossible, but it just requires us being really set up and having a place to do it, and a bunch of people enough people agreeing for it to make it worth it, basically. So, but right now we're probably not doing that. Tom.
and just to be clear, for the people that don't like this no XP thing, we're not listening to you. This is something that required a bit of thought. Our game was getting kind of congested with people getting pretty upset about stupid stuff that didn't matter, and a lot of it
Right.
was a result of not winning XP. And so we understand that you don't like it, but sometimes the voice of a couple people does not outweigh the game. It just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're trying to disrespect you in any way. It's just sometimes we have to do things for the betterment of the game, and sometimes that comes really just against your opinion on whatever it is. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to North. I'm sure
Mhm.
he's probably had put things in his game that he didn't even agree with.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
We're not ignoring you. We're constantly looking for a way to do something with it. I get why you want the winning XP. Totally get it as a former player, maybe a player in the future. I get that. I don't, we're sorry, but that is that's for the betterment of the game.
I mean,
And so far, it seems to be working
yeah.
Agreed.
better.
I mean, we have to come to that middle compromise of, we have this side and this side. we have to meet in that middle. We have to find a compromise that is going to, one, better the game, but also is feasible for both parties. And I think
Right.
right now this is working, and I think we just need to, sometimes we may have an off the cuff, XP thing.
It's possible.
And that's just going to be, like we said, it may be off the cuff. It may just be in the moment. Deal with it. And just, if you don't like it, let us know. And we will take it under advisement. But, we have to come together and meet both sides. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'll say one more thing, and then I'm going to drop it. I mean, you guys can continue talking
Yeah, we
about
can
it if you
move
want
on
to,
after.
but I feel like I have, and everyone has an opinion on it, right? And everybody has the right to their opinion on it.
mhm.
The only thing that I'll say is that if I wanted to, and I wanted to go out there and basically place in almost every single event, I could do it. And so the person I think that's complaining about the XP places a lot. And they probably are losing XP over this. And I get that that's frustrating, but at least I've presented this as a person who is in basically the same exact boat. I'm not in the same position as this person. And I get it sucks, but it is better for the game of Phlarp. And I hope that ultimately you can realize that that's more important than anything else.
Exactly. All right.
Anyway,
You're up.
Moving on.
I'm up.
You're up.
Did you go?
Not yet.
Did you go?
Mm-mm.
We're going this way. Okay. This one says,
Yeah.
Heston's new outfit looks good on him. No, there you
Cool.
go.
Do you
I
have-
agree.
How
I agree.
much?
Looks good.
99.9%. It can always be better.
Okay. I'll take that.
There you go.
There
You're
we
up.
go. All right. You're up.
This one says, "I'm melting," and has a little drawing on it.
Camera.
Gosh,
up
whoever
there.
did that is just too much.
It was really hot today, but
Over the top.
I already know who did it. I'm just being a troll.
You are a troll. All right. I have good numbers of events today. So apparently the number of events that we did, somebody agrees to. So
I feel like it's the same number every week. It's like 4 or 5 events.
yeah,
It's what we have time for.
that's yeah. I mean, we could
Especially
have
today. We had to take more breaks and
Yeah.
stuff today. It was hot.
like the main thing that today that we were all decided on is the safety of the players, making sure they hydrate, making sure
True.
that they're not going to get heat cramps or anything. So I think for the amount of time that we were out today, we had good numbers on players and good numbers of events. So I like.
I'll tell you something kind of funny that happened today. There was a hair flying in the air, and I was gonna bat at it and sway it away from her drink. That's all that was.
my drink.
Yeah, it's gone. It didn't hit you.
I think
It
he was
didn't hit
just
you.
trying to raise his hand and now he's covering it up.
No, I promise. There's a floating hair coming down. Anyway, at some point today, North was talking about how hot he was, and I jokingly was like, "Oh, you want me to get some ice and put it on you?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
So I walked over to the cooler and grabbed this big chunk of ice out of there. North was looking the other way, and I went over and I just put it on the back of his neck, and his face was like his eyes got all big, and it was pretty funny. That was one of the highlights of my day, actually.
It felt really good.
Yeah,
It was,
I
it
bet
was a
did.
good reaction.
Yeah,
even
it
though
was a
looked
good-
kind of
yeah.
wild.
No,
I
it was
I
like, ooh,
oh,
that
yeah,
feels nice.
Like that.
Yeah.
something like that.
And then, of course, I had to make the joke that no one's ever put that look on his face except for me.
Yeah. And then also, I'm like, man, it's so hot out. It's like 1,000 degrees. He's
Yeah.
like, it would be better if you quit bitching about it.
I said, no, it actually cools down if you stop complaining about it. And I get it was hot, but everybody was talking about how hot it was all day.
Yeah.
And so
And there's only so many ways you can respond to that.
yeah, and so we've said it probably today just on the podcast 100 times. I feel but it was I was hearing it every second out
Yeah.
there, and I was just like, okay, we get it's hot. Everybody
It's
stop
hot.
complaining.
That's what my other suggestion is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says
Well,
the heat was brutal. Respect to those who fought in it.
True that.
hell
Cool.
yeah. That one goes on the wall.
No.
No?
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I guess that was vetoed quick.
I don't care what you put on the wall, but do make the hole bigger, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Almost 100%.
Well, this one's about the heat too. I'll go. Huge shout out to everyone today. Did not expect to fight the gates of hell this day, but this heat is truly the work of Avernus. There you go.
Who's Avernus?
If you don't know,
I'll have to Google him.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
I have one that says a staff should apply a 3-second effect on its disarm and kneel effect. People will not let their weapon touch the ground. And then I can't ground commonly if hit their arm. I'm not
I
sure what
think
that one word is, but they're basically saying they wish the disarm was an actual 3-second disarm, not just an instant disarm and then pick it back up.
Right.
Which
If people, I'll start watching a little more closely when we're doing our games to people fighting anyone using a staff. And if I see something, I'll call it out. I think we start rather than changing the
making sure they're
rules,
honoring it.
I think we start with telling people how it works again, like a group message maybe during the announcements or whatever. And then also just have the marshals watch that a little more closely and see if people are sloughing that. And if they are, we'll correct it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think changing the rules to a 3-second stun or whatever is kind of wild.
Instead of just a 1-second disarm. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean,
Well, he's not saying a 3-second
it's an
stun.
infinite staff. Like, right? I mean, that what we're talking about? We're talking about if I hit somebody in the arm with my staff and it's supposed to disarm them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, it's infinite. There's no way we were making that for 3 seconds. It would be broken.
Like if they could reapply it, you're saying.
Yeah, they just go,
could
oh,
there
it's
and reapply
3
it.
second I mean, it's just too much, I think.
Yeah, I think like what you're saying is that we just need to make sure that they're actually taking the disarm correctly. So
right.
if they're,
That's exactly what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Because
when their
I
arm gets
have
hit-
no doubt in my mind that the person that sent this in is probably right. I'm sure that there are people that do not do what they're
or,
supposed to
like,
do
rest
when they're
the tip
fighting him.
against the ground and then let the
Yeah,
take
or
the
just
hand
like throw it in the other hand or whatever they're
Mhm.
doing. I'm sure that happens. Listen. If you watch this, I will start watching more closely to see if that's happening. If it is, I'll call it out. That's all. I mean, that's all I can do as a marshal.
Yeah.
But that's not a failing of the game necessarily.
I don't believe
No.
so. I think that's a
That's
failing
of
of
the
players to play the game
not honoring
correctly.
it. Yeah,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And rather than change the game that I don't think is broken, I can just try to change the players. And if they don't want to play right, then they can get off the field.
So, do you want to impromptu change? I'm not. That was done, right?
Yeah.
So, do we want to impromptu sort of change the way the code word works this podcast? Because if we wait till next podcast and we say we're going to change it, I
Let's
think.
just do it.
Yeah. Okay.
The question is, though, because the way I think it should work,
Okay.
right? And it's just my opinion. We have 3 other people here. My opinion is that we should pose a question.
Go ahead.
Is that we should pose a question, and the comment should be an answer to that question. That way, that's essentially, it's not just a code word. It's an answer to whatever question we have. If they answer that question, then they get the podcast experience.
So, can there be a wrong answer to the question? It needs to be a
No,
question where
I
there's
think it
no
should be
wrong
an
answer.
open-ended question.
Yep.
That way, they're not
Like
just
we can start with
repeating the same
something
thing over.
simple, like tell me your your greatest LARP memory. Period.
Okay.
So in the comments, if you want your XP for watching the podcast,
Right.
answer in the comments what your best LARP memory is.
Mm-hmm.
We will make a list of the people who answered that question by, probably Sunday morning, right at 1 o'clock. I'll check it. All those people will get experience. If you're not one of those people that commented on the video with your answer, you don't get experience.
And as long as we're not running over time, I'll read it. Like that'd be
Sure.
part of it too.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
It'll help with the podcast, I think, with just more material. It'll help our algorithm. It'll help
Right.
a lot of things.
Mhm.
So
I
I am with that.
What was the first LARP? Your
Best
LARP
LARP
experience,
memory, whatever that is.
your most cherished, I guess.
Sure.
Like
It could be the
Mhm.
simplest thing. It could be an elaborate story, whatever you want. The point is, whatever your best LARP memory is, let us know. And if you do, you'll get experience for watching the podcast.
And so we're not doing code word anymore.
No code word.
No code word.
Code
Okay.
word, out.
Okay.
And that's
All right.
not the code word.
No. That would be awkward, actually, if the code word was out.
Yeah.
Like, people would just be walking up to me and be like, out. I'm like, okay. You're not
Bye.
very nice.
See you later.
I guess say the code word is out, right?
No.
Meaning like
No.
No.
like it's
There
no
is-
longer here.
There is no
It's
code word.
gone.
It's just gone.
Okay.
Bye-bye
The code word's
code word.
gone. No, I'm just joking.
And then
Okay.
And then
What'd you say earlier? P
Epui?
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 Hey, boy.
Poussoir.
Poussoir. It's pretty funny.
It's close. I had the
That might have been the best joke you've ever made, honestly.
Good job, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so we have announcements next Sunday, or this coming Sunday when this releases. We will have our costume contest.
Was that the 27th? Today was the
believe
20th, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So the 27th.
So the 27th, we will have our costume contest. So all of you listening, spread the word. Come out with your best costume,
yeah.
So
Your
the-
very best.
top notch. I have a question.
Can we go ahead
though.
and put a time limit on when people can show up for the costume contest?
Yeah, I think we should
Like
start.
15 minutes,
Yes,
yeah.
I agree. I was just going to say that I think 1:15 the costume contest starts. If you're not there by 1:15, you're not in it. We're
Yeah.
not waiting on
Or
anyone.
even if you are there and you're not in costume or whatever, we're not gonna.
Can't wait.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna start going and not waiting for anybody.
Right. And I think that should be the first event on those specific days
Yes.
too. So we're not going to play a last man standing prior
Right.
to the costume contest.
Yes.
You show up in your costume. If you can't fight in it, you can take it off after the costume contest.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that works better for everybody because then they don't have to fight in their costumes and get overheated and whatever, and like get stuff knocked off their costume or whatever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they don't have to not participate in last man standing because they're there for their costume. So
Well, and we start at 1 o'clock, so if you do it at 1:15, that gives people, leeway if they get stuck in traffic or whatever. But, not getting the day started until 2 o'clock because we're waiting on people that
Truth.
can't get there on time isn't everybody else's problem. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
nobody
I'm-
else should have to wait.
I was there at like 11:30 today, so I try to get there really early.
Yeah.
Like
Was
get
that,
there earlier,
was that like
basically.
a humble brag?
Yeah, sort of.
I didn't get there that early, but I was still there before 1, so.
Yeah, that's my goal is usually to get there at about 12:30 every week. Sometimes I'm earlier than that. Sometimes I'm a little later than that, but never after 1.
Yeah.
Never.
I know we usually have like a few players show up around
Right
noonish,
around noon, yeah.
so
Yeah.
that in case somebody wants to come and train or whatever. So
There was a couple of people there when I got there at like 11:30 or whatever. Trinity,
Nice.
I think, and Thyra
Yeah.
were there.
So I mean, adjust your time frame.
Right, that's what I was saying. Is just leave early or whatever.
yeah.
If you want to make sure to make it in under the wire on the costume contest.
Have 1 beer less on Saturday night. You'll be there on time.
Yeah. Then no.
You can't have 1 less than 0. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No.
All right, have 1 less shot of whiskey on Saturday night, and you'll be all right.
Again, no.
All right, we'll just sack up. Let's go.
Are you going to be in the costume contest next week?
I don't know.
I mean, because usually, your last one was pretty good.
I
Came
agree,
out
but
with
she didn't even place, and it was
I
like
know.
disrespectful.
It
a little
was.
bit. Like,
That's our town tailor.
yeah.
What
do
do
put-
y'all think about adding a couple positions to costume contests? Since we have so many entries nowadays, like make it like where you can have like top 5.
I disagree.
No?
Here's why.
Okay.
Last time we had quite a few, but there was still only like 13 or 14 entries. If you make it top 5, that's like almost a third of the people placing.
This guy and his fractions and percentages.
Why?
It is.
But
I'm
why
just
do you bring
saying,
it?
I feel like top 3 makes it feel.
Hard
More
to decide.
worthy.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Whenever I'm trying to figure out who to vote for,
I only get 1 vote.
Yeah, it's like difficult.
I'm
Like,
basically voting for who I think's gonna be first.
right. Okay.
So just
So
top
I would
3,
leave it.
and that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
I would leave it at top 3 until we get like.
I'm not.
You
I
start
think
getting 50
participation
people in
trophies are
there.
whack.
You start getting like 50 people entering into it. Like it gets like a lot of people, then it's a little bit different. Like you might break it down into categories or have more
I'm still good with top 3 at that point.
places or whatever. But
And also, are we still okay with
Bring
letting
your A
them
game.
vote once?
With
We're still
what?
okay with letting who's in it vote once?
I think so.
That's
yeah,
still
I think
okay.
so.
Okay.
I'm still okay with that.
As long as they don't
They
vote
can't vote for
themselves.
themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
So at that point, I genuinely think they're voting for whoever they think the best costume is, unless they're like trying to cheat by going, oh, that person's going to get a lot of votes. I'm going to vote for
Who's
whoever.
in my
But
clan or whatever.
if you're doing that, you suck.
Wow.
It's
Well,
hard
well,
for
you
me
know who you
because
are. If you're doing that,
You suck.
yeah.
I try to
Wow.
vote for somebody that's wearing something that I haven't made. Like I feel like if I made it, it's just weird to vote for
The
like,
best is the best.
And then all the
Mercer.
people that are wearing your stuff are like, shit.
I wear her stuff. That is not a vote of
No
confidence.
I
kidding. I wear your stuff.
It's getting to the point though where it's hard to like. There's only a few people that don't have at
Mercer
least
Stitch made
something.
gear. I know.
Yeah.
So you can't vote like that. You just got to vote for whatever you think the best is.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to be. The
You're
best.
trying not to be biased, you're saying?
Yeah, and like I don't know, it just feels weird.
Like voting for your own work.
look at that, I'm so cool. It's like high fiving myself.
I'm gonna lose
Hell
you.
yeah.
Dumbass.
What is
Anyway.
wrong with high-fiving yourself? I
This
mean,
is weird,
It's
man.
just whack, man.
No,
You're like,
Isn't that just clapping?
Brandon,
What-
good job.
God, I'm pumped. Yeah.
It's just like aggressively clapping.
It's like when
There's
people.
nothing wrong with it.
It's like when people like their own posts on Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
it's
I
freaking
love-
it's
yeah.
weird.
cringy.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's cringy?
No.
You're high-fiving yourself. You're like, oh, yeah, Brandon, good job.
Like,
Oh, look at this
weird.
post. It's got 6 likes.
Like-
Bang, 7.
like the comment I made, that Erik the Red guy has some awesome ideas. I almost liked it. That would have been cool. High five, yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
to each their own. I am 99.9% against it, but to each their own.
That's you. You are one.
So 1%
point-
of the time.
No,
you
no,
would
no.
be like,
You're not 1%.
He's
Point
0.1.
0.01% of the time.
He
you're
is
okay
wrong.
with it.
Actually, it would be just 0.1% of the
Yes,
time.
0.1. Jeez, math. Anyway,
Either way. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
nonetheless, we do have a question.
From who?
This is, I'm using my brain today.
Oh, such a bad question.
Actually, no. Our trash bash is usually done the first Monday of each month.
Not usually it is.
Dumbass.
Okay. So, the first Monday of September is
Tuesday.
Labor Day.
Oh. Which we're supposed to be doing the parade on Labor
You do the
Day.
it's that morning, but do you still want to have the trash bash that
Oh, yeah.
evening?
Yeah,
or,
yeah. Mhm.
So we're good with that?
Is it supposed to be as hot as it was today?
I mean, it shows that if
How
they
are we
show up,
supposed
they
to
show
know
up.
what it's going to be like in September 4th?
And if they don't, they don't. It's okay.
Because it's only like 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks is a long time.
Actually,
Okay.
we should let, because this actually got taken away from, kind of like the responsibility of running the trash bags got taken away from me because I'm usually not off in time to do it anyway. So Valkyrie kind of does that like on her own. So maybe we should just ask her. Last time I think it was mainly just her.
You want me to call her?
her people. Yeah, right now, dude.
You know what?
I'll do it.
Don't
I
do
think Valkyrie should comment on this.
That's a good
This-
point.
Well,
Let us know,
Yeah,
Valkyrie,
let
when
us
you
know,
want to do the
Valkyrie.
trash bash.
Because the last trash bash, it was myself, Valkyrie, and Wilhelm.
Yeah, I missed the last one.
And they
too.
just mowed, so we should be able to get the last of it and then start doing something like planting native flowers or something.
Why native?
So that we're not putting evasive
I want to put
flowers.
evasive flowers. Venus flytraps all down the highway. What do you think?
The ones from Little Shop of Horror.
No, not
Okay.
that one.
Not that one? Why not?
Because that one we got out of control.
Just a little bit.
Is it Rick Moranis? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Dude, he does a great job. I actually really want to go to like the Muni and watch that play. I know that was kind of squirrel brained, but
Wow.
The
squirrel.
The high school did that. I think last year, maybe the year before,
Yeah.
and it was pretty good. Actually, the principal at one of the schools like sang in it. He was like the voice of
The actual
plant.
Venus flytrap.
yeah, and I was like, man, that guy's got some pipes. Like it was the whole thing was like a musical, but it was really cool.
Oh,
was
it is a
good.
musical.
Yeah, the movie's a musical too. So.
What a goofball.
Well, I mean, but they for a high school play. I mean, like they were all.
That
Goofball?
movie's kind of dark too, really.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It is kind of like, whoa.
Okay, so yesterday it was myself, Trinity, Thyra, and we had lunch with Daveen.
Right.
And we were listening to the music they were playing.
Oh yeah, this is funny.
And I don't remember the name of the song.
It was not like the most popular song, but it was a song on the movie. I
It
know
was
that.
from Greece. And like he's just singing along to it and he's like, man, I cannot think of the movie this is on. It's like the entrance music to the
Yeah.
Grease movie. And I'm just sitting there staring at Thyra and we're like, really? Like, why?
I'm literally going. I'm at the table going, guys, don't tell me. I know it. And they're like, but I thought of it.
He
Eventually.
did, like after, a good North minute.
It was probably a full minute.
He was just so like, what is this? And we're just like, really, bro? Come
Yeah.
on now. So
And then it's like embarrassing when you realize the movie and you're like, I probably watched that movie like 30 times.
it was great. I'm sorry, you guys, but I mean, we had a good time.
It's true.
Um,
We got some pasta.
we did.
Well, I did. He got chicken livers. It was very weird.
No. Because you
From
were
where?
wanting the chicken livers, and I was like, I don't
No.
eat livers.
I'm just
no.
messing around. I did what I get lasagna. You
He-
got like chicken spadini or something.
Yep.
It was good though.
It was good.
From where?
Rich and Charlie's.
Never been there.
Well,
Sometimes-
maybe next time you'll get invited.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe. But anytime we invite him to something, he always has other plans.
Have we
Always.
invited him to anything else? Ooh, I got to play Protect the President with North on Monday.
yeah.
That was
What?
actually hilarious. So basically, we got on Fortnite together, and it was me, him, and one of my other buddies. And we were like, well, I don't want to give away too much information, but we were acting kind of goofy. And I was just like, let's just play Protect the President, which basically whoever picks up this weapon first, they're the president. That's all they can pick up as far as like weapons are concerned. And the other two players basically have to protect them. And it was actually kind of fun. I think we ended up winning the game even with it. Like
yeah,
we
the
were,
one that you were president.
Yeah.
You did like a whole speech. He did like a.
Yeah.
We all
Nice.
kneeled and listened to his speech, and then we did it. We saved the president.
It's pretty
Awesome.
cool.
Cool.
Literally,
Yeah.
like in the game,
I-
like their two avatars, like kind of sat down. I was like, guys, listen to me. I'm like, I'm the president. You have to protect me.
He
I
said, "If
have
you
to
haven't
make
seen
it out
Air
of here.
Force One,
The-
leave the room now.
Yeah, it was like literally the world is in danger. We have to survive this, and we did. And it was pretty cool.
Awesome.
And actually, I didn't really tell you this at the time, but that's the first time I've ever played with anybody that I actually know
Right. You told me
online
later.
at all. So
And to
Kinda
be
neat.
fair, like you said, you were a little bit awkward, but not
Mhm.
like so much that we were like, oh,
I
we're
was
not
trying
playing
to.
with him.
I was trying to
again.
get into the
Yeah.
role play of what you guys were doing.
Well, that's what I thought. If I like added some weird role play to it, that you would like it more,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed the hell out of it. It
Mhm.
like took the competitiveness down for me a lot, which is important, especially when I was. My buddy's pretty decent,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets super competitive with it. So I like talked to him beforehand. I was like, I don't know if this guy's any good. I'm not going to take this seriously at all. Like we're just
Right.
going to goof off. In fact, I got this idea for a game.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, that sounds awesome, and it was like one of the best Fortnite experiences I've had in a long time. Mainly because I didn't get mad when we died.
And then I think the best part about it is whenever you were driving the truck or you're in the truck and I jumped in the back and I'd already like did some crazy stuff like throwing grenades on accident.
dude, he was like throwing grenades
It
at
caught
me
you on
and
fire at one point with the fireflies. He
Yeah.
was like, "Whoa, I'm on fire!" And he was like trying to run out of the house because I lit the whole
I
house.
literally
on fire.
went, I'm under attack.
And then we get in the truck and we're driving. I pull out a graph bomb or whatever, and I'm like aiming it at the front of the truck, like trying to figure out how to like I was gonna like
Cancel
throw
it or something?
Yeah, well, no, I was gonna throw it. I was just gonna mess with you at that point.
man.
And he goes, "Don't you dare!" And I was like, "Okay," because it like sends you flying when it blows up. It just like sends you flying. I was gonna throw it in front of the truck.
I'm gonna have to get in on this.
It's fun, and it's cross-platform. So like, if you got a PC, PlayStation, Xbox, they all work together.
I got
At
a
least on that
PS5.
game.
I was wondering, whenever you have like more than 4 in your party or whatever, how do they do that? Do you just still all go
yeah,
in the same?
you can.
Or, oh,
so
okay.
so squads is like the most you could play, which is up to 4 people. If you have more than 4 people in your party, one of them has to sit out.
While everybody else plays,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we
They
got
can watch, they can spectate, but
Oh,
they
okay.
can't play.
if we had enough people or whatever, we could probably get up to like a few people before it wouldn't be a big deal to let some of them sit out and rotate people in and play. It'd be cool
Sure.
to have a bunch of Phlarp people that played together or whatever. So.
Yeah, I'm always down.
All right. I
I'm
mean,
not.
And we play on, I guess we're going to try to play on Mondays and Tuesdays, but we'll play
Whenever.
almost any day. But
I can play whenever.
I'm
so.
trying to schedule mine on Mondays and Tuesdays. That way I got a consistent
Mondays
like,
and
time.
Tuesdays are good for me.
I can tell you this much. I've played Fortnite like once.
It doesn't matter.
Once.
it's
and
okay.
I
It doesn't
suck
matter.
at it.
Dude, I'm telling
all
you
for it.
right now, it doesn't matter. And
Like
honestly,
I would spectate, but like I'm terrible at those
Don't
type
they
of
make
games.
you seasick or something, or make you?
Yeah, I
like,
get motion sick sometimes, but like the whole like I'm not coordinated enough to do all that.
the thing is
You give
somebody
me some
could
Dr. Mario, and I'm like,
check
I
this
will
out.
smoke you.
If you
but
didn't get sick,
She's never
like
let me
that's a
live Dr.
different.
Mario down. Jesus.
Oh my goodness.
It's like the only game she ever beat me in.
those are
You
my
did
kind of
beat
games.
me though. To be fair. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm just saying it doesn't matter if you're not any like
It's
if you
true.
get sick, like don't do it. But it doesn't matter that you've never played the game. Doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Because in fact, people who haven't played the game, they get like ungodly easier lobbies.
Mm.
So like if I join the game with North, who hasn't played the game very much, it's going to be easier lobbies than I'm typically used to dealing with.
Mhm.
So I could probably clean up if I really wanted to.
Sweet.
And I
so,
do like the no build. Isn't that what we played? It was
Yeah,
no
we
build,
played
right?
zero build. I can play whatever, but we played zero build if
Mhm.
you're like worried about not being able to do the builds and stuff. That's
Mhm.
not
I
a,
didn't
it's
even
not
know
a problem.
Fortnite was something that adults play. Like I thought it was just a
I
kid's
love
game.
Fortnite. I don't give a crap what anybody says. I think it honestly, as far as how long it's been kind of at the top of the gaming world, is very impressive, and that's kind of like, in my opinion, all thanks to Epic Games, which is who runs Fortnite.
Mhm.
They have done an amazing job of giving us new seasons, new weapons, new like it's constantly a new game, and I think that's what makes it successful after all this time.
Mhm.
I think that it's also too one of the most successful, like, sort of quote unquote metaverses where it's a bunch of different products or whatever, like what do they call that? Not brands, but
I know,
properties,
yeah.
whatever it is, intellectual properties that are actually in one thing. Like, it's kind of crazy that, like, they
Yeah.
have all these animes and, like, they have license to them. Is pretty
Right.
wild.
And so the other really cool thing too about
Run around like John
and we'll
Wick.
get off this or whatever, but the other cool thing is it's a free game to play. You can
True.
download the game for free. You can play the game for free.
You can
There's
spend
no
$600
paywalls
on skins.
if you want to. The only
if you
things
want to.
available to purchase are things that don't make you better at the game.
They're
It's just like how
cosmetic.
you look,
Mhm.
stuff like that, which is really cool. So somebody could literally come in, pay nothing, and play the game if they wanted to.
And I had heard too that they created that part of the creation of Fortnite was to test the Unreal Engine. I don't know how true that is, but it's just something I read one time.
It could
so-
be. I admittedly it was a Arno. Arno convinced
Mhm.
me to get Fortnite when it originally came out. It didn't even have battle royale.
Hmm.
That's how crazy
Wow.
that game has evolved.
Yeah.
So
Was when they were
originally it
still
was
trying
like
to
you
do
just
the
like
PvE
run
thing.
around and find stuff and fought zombies basically, or aliens, whatever they are. I don't
Mhm.
know, but it was lame. And then when they made battle royale, it was like, oh my gosh, this game is so cool.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of funny how that worked out.
All right. Well, I will definitely be down.
Cool.
I ain't buying no V-Bucks.
We just get
You
in
don't
the,
have
we'll,
to.
we'll just get in the Phlarp chat next time, see if anybody wants to jump
Sure.
in.
I'm down with that.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
Et puis?
Apu.
Boo!
Love that.
Oh, you got anything?
Well, no, I don't have nothing else.
Go ahead.
We hope you keep listening.
And
We hope you keep battling in the name of our capital Darvishan.
and
We hope to see you all next week.
Bye.